Do you have a chronic complainer in your lives? Or maybe you're the complainer in your entire group of friends.
Well, good news. Peak performance and mindset coach Hina Khan is here with some helpful tips on how to deal with all those complainers. Welcome back to The Social.
Thank you.
So good to see you.
Okay, let's start with the basics. Why don't we complain?
Well, I want to say there is a difference between complaining and sharing a concern.
Yeah.
And when you're sharing a concern, you generally want a solution and you're going to the person that can help you. But when somebody is complaining, they're just like, who can I talk to? And they want you to pull up a chair, and they're more interested in venting as opposed to moving off of it. And the reason that we might listen a lot longer than we want to is because we actually feel like we're bonding with the person, or we don't want to be rude. And for some people, it's a way of connecting.
Well, I want to touch on that because some people, as you mentioned, might share these negative feelings and experiences with people close to them because they want that support.
Yeah.
So is there value in that? And how can you tell when that's the case?
Yes, I would say there is. Like, come on. There are times, we all have our moments where it's like, I just need to get this off my chest. Can you relate to that? Where you're just like, I just need to get it off my chest. And you've got your trusted people that you would do that with. And that's the difference. It's like that trusted colleague or your best friend or your partner. And it's still in the spirit, Kate, of moving on. You still want to move on afterwards. And that's the difference. So you'll tell them this small circle and then you move on.
Here's a question.
Okay.
When does it move from stating a fact to like just always complaining?
Well, when we don't stop. No, really what it is that when you're stating a fact, it's a little bit more neutral. Like, yeah, you know, the weather's been inconsistent or traffic's been really hectic lately. But when we're complaining, for many people, it's the way they see the world. It's like the glass is half empty.
Yeah.
And so they don't hear themselves complaining. They're just having a conversation. And that is the difference. And it's when you're not wanting to move off of it, and it's your way of being. It's the way that you show up to things, and you look for things. Like when something's happening, you're looking, yet you know.
Well, it's just a moment of self-realization.
Yes.
Like I sometimes do this.
Where you're looking for the thing that's wrong, and you've been around people like that, and that's what they're pointing out all the time.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, I just want to say that is like not you at all. You were
well, let's have a little moment here.
a little truth moment.
A little truth moment.
When we think about those constant complainers, whether it's ourselves or it's someone in our group, whether it's like at work or a group of friends, how does that constant complaining affect the whole culture of that group of people?
I think it creates a toxic environment. Like if you're in a work situation and that's happening all the time, then that is the energy that's being created, and that's what people are bonding on. They're bonding on what is not working, and they're not looking for solutions. So I have a rule on my team. I've got some clients here, and they know the team, and we have a 1 to 3 rule. It wasn't my rule. I heard it, and I loved it. Bring me one problem with 3 solutions. Right?
Good.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? One problem with 3 solutions, so you're already thinking about the solutions.
Love it.
So let's say that there's like a chronic complainer in our lives.
I love not naming any names.
Let's go on. How do you suggest we deal with them? You know, like, for instance, this might... Oh, my God. Like, I was on my porch. I was just getting the mail. Somebody came up to me and started talking to me. How dare they? It's my house. Don't they know? I don't want to talk to you. I live here.
You just say, that's interesting, interrupt, that's interesting, and change
Feels like
the
a verbal
subject.
assault. So
Yes.
sorry, you want me to say what?
That's interesting, and change the subject.
Okay, let's try it again.
I was just on my porch. I just went out to get the mail. Someone walked up to me and started talking to me, asking me about my day. How dare they? As if my day is any of their...
This is wildly interesting. What's your favorite kind of ice cream?
Like, is that it?
Well, sometimes you do have to just interrupt and get them off of that train, because there was a lot of momentum happening there. But here's what happens, and how do you disentangle yourself? Well, first of all, I don't know if any of you can relate to this, but I was a people pleaser.
Yes.
Yes,
Hi.
yes, I know. And so when people would complain to me like that, like I would stay with it because I would feel like it's rude to interrupt, or I'm not being a nice person. So one time, this is when it all changed for me. one time, an acquaintance called and she was like, Hina, do you have time? I want to get your thoughts on something. And that made me feel important. Like, it's nice to the ego, like, oh, she wants to share something with me. So I get on the phone with her, and half an hour later, which I will never get back, she didn't want my thoughts. She wasn't interested in what I had to say.
She just wanted to...
She just wanted to talk. And she said, thank you so much. I just really feel like I had to throw that up. And I thought, oh.
On me?
I'm a barf bag.
You know what I mean?
Barf bag.
Yeah.
I'm a barf bag. And that's when things changed for me. And that's when I thought, okay, it's like a neighborhood cat. If we keep feeding it, it's going to keep coming around.
Oh my God, that's a great analogy.
But when you stop feeding it, it'll come around a little bit just to test, just to say, did you not grocery shop that day? Are we still on? But then it will stop coming around and it will go to the person. So to you, Kate,
yes.
if you keep doing this with Lainey, eventually she's going to be like, well, she just keeps cutting me off and is asking me about my dogs or ice cream or something else. So this is not where I can get that fed. And you'll start to see it showing up later in your life. And I can tell you, people do people do not complain around me.
They don't complain?
Do they? No, they don't.
Oh
they don't.
my God.
Nails on a chalkboard. I choose my peace of mind. Give me peace. Yeah.
Amen.
Yeah.
Okay, so no, preach. What if you're hearing all this and realizing that you are the chronic complainer, but you want to change your ways?
I know. Poor Lainey. How did she get like...
Her nickname is Complainy.
No.
She comes by it naturally.
Well, I think that's wonderful that you've become aware of something. And again, you may want to ask yourself, why do I do this? Is it because I get attention? I get sympathy? Or in my house, this is the way we talked about things.
Yes.
Right? Right. Yeah. Because to actually, and this is, so we can talk about this, Lainey, because sometimes it actually wasn't, I don't want to say safe, but you couldn't actually share the good stuff. So there's also sometimes where you've grown up in a home where it's like, oh, that's arrogance or bragging. But what we can connect on are the things that are not working, or we can connect on the negative. So you still want the benefit of connecting with somebody. You still want that bonding experience. But now what you can do is choose to share good things. And you can choose with just inconsequential things, like a great coffee that you had, or that your drive was a little bit easier. And then another thing that I think you can do that's so good is a gratitude practice. What a gratitude practice does, if you just every morning, just write 10 things you're grateful for. Every evening, 10 things that you're grateful for. You are now training your mind to look for the good. And you are creating a habit of looking for the good.
Well, we are grateful for you.
Thank you so much.
Hey there, what did you think? Drop your comments below and join the conversation. And don't forget to like and subscribe so you can find more on everything from food and fashion to pop culture and current events. See you soon.